Hey guys, good morning. It is actually 1 minute from not morning. um, so I haven't been on for a while. I've had some, we've been busy trying to organize our thoughts on the house and everything and make some decisions and all kinds of stuff. And I moved some things around. I put my desk in the living room with the entertainment center and the other computer and the wood stove and everything. So my desk is right here where I used to have like a trunk full of stuff, and so that's been moved. I love moving stuff around. I would love to just I love taking a room apart and moving it, but I can't do that anymore like I used to. Anyway, but I like this setup a lot better. And there's like chaos all around me. I did some laundry, but I haven't gotten to it. I've got like a donation box and dog blankets and curtains hanging on my exercise machine and to dry because they're lace that you can't just wash. Some of it I got from my best friend who lives in Germany, and she got me some lace, and so that gets carefully washed and then hung up. And then I have some curtains that if you put them in the dryer, they'll turn into Swiss cheese because they're really, really old lace fabric or whatever. So I've got a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm a linen fanatic, so I've got like linens everywhere. I've got cabinets full of linens and antique handkerchiefs and lace doily things and stitched cup towels, and I mean just so much of it, and I just love it. I love it. It's just, I don't know, it makes me happy. And Greta is trying to get into my room. He wants to sleep under my bed, but he's not able to control his bladder as well as
Sorry, I got 5 dozen eggs for you.
Oh, okay. He's going to get 5 dozen eggs put together for Margie. Is it for Margie?
I'm sorry?
Is it for Margie?
No, it's for our fence neighbor.
Oh, behind us.
Yeah, he stopped me as I was driving past.
Oh, how funny. That's funny. Okay. There's a guy doing, a real nice guy that's doing some fencing for the neighbor that's behind us, a new house that went in. They took down the old house and put up a new house. And so there's some fencing guys there that like eggs, and he doesn't.
You guys have a great day. I'm out of here for this. This is my wife's thing here.
So he, the guy that's out there, he doesn't. He can't eat white eggs. Make sure none of his eggs are white. Make sure none of his eggs are white. And he can't eat white eggs because they hurt his stomach. So he does better with like brown eggs and stuff. And I'm thinking it's not that. I think he's having issues with grocery eggs as compared to, I think there's something in the grocery eggs that are bothering him. Whatever they do with those or something, that the regular free range, regular eggs set better with him. And or whatever. So anyway, so he asked Bruce for 5 dozen. So we're really I mean, we're excited. There's so many things going on. Now, my only thing is that my chore is the inside of the house, and I can't get it done because it's just hard for me to get done. I had 2 days where I was in a lot of pain, and like it rained last night. Oh my gosh, I felt like needles were just poking me all night long. I felt like literally like someone was taking needles and just poking me randomly in strange places all night long. I hate that. Oh, I hate that feeling, and I don't know what causes that particular one. What, buddy? Yeah, but you're stinky. I know. I had to go get his blanket. Hold on. Okay, I think we're good now. Got him wrapped up in a blanket. so he doesn't make me stinky. What? Yes, I love you too. Anyway, so we're really, really excited about getting some of these things done. Yesterday, every day I have the battle of what, honey? Yes. Okay. This paw was broken, so he can't quite. He wants to tap my face, but it doesn't quite move the way it's supposed to because he's had it broken. Yeah. Anyway, so been working on my mood and trying to keep positive thoughts and stuff. Try to say positive words, no negative words, not talk about, and that's one of the things, not to talk about any of the discomfort and stuff, not to talk about it, to try really hard not to talk about it, because talking about it, how they say, manifests it or whatever. I don't know if I believe in all that stuff, but it does say in the Bible to take captive every thought. So maybe, and to think of the things that are good and whatever. So maybe there's something to it. I don't know. So we've been doing our Bible readings and doing our boundaries book, and this week we were reading about responsibilities, and so that one's a good one for us because there was a part in that one where we were like, oh well, we both are screaming on this one, so it was good. It's good for us. So today, instead of going on to the next rule or whatever, I just recapped the last one. I said think about it because that's one of our issues. We have some lavender Americanas on lockdown today, so that means that today's their day 18. So anytime between today and day like 21 is their hatching time, and so 6 of those go to Robin, and whatever's left I'll just hang on to. I think I've got. It's Gracie and tires. I think I had 10 in there, and there's now 8 in there, or maybe there was 12 and I have 10 in there, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so but I don't. The chances of all of them that are in there hatching is usually there's a couple of them that won't hatch. But all the ones that are in there are fertile. We took the 2 that weren't fertile out, and so it was a good fertility rate. All the others were good. There was one that in there that looked like it might have had a blood ring, which means that it started and stopped. So we'll see. But the other ones all looked really good. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see those little things. I do have one egg in there that is an Andalasian. Blue Andalasian, and the male is the lavender, the cuckoo lavender. So I'm going to see what that looks like, because the Andalasians are really pretty. They're full-size birds, but they're kind of thin, and they're a little feistier. They've got a little bit of a game bird personality. We also took count of our birds and realized that one of our second Fiome is gone, just disappeared. I don't know where she is. She, sometimes they can go broody somewhere. Sometimes they just disappear because a hawk or something got them. So, and we've got some major hawks buzzing over and stuff. So, hopefully she didn't suffer. She didn't. I saw her and the other one. The other one had heart issues, and this one also did not look. Their comb is like dark and stuff. Sometimes that shows heart issues and stuff like that. And one of them, they're siblings, so one of them is had heart issues, and The other one may have had some stuff going on too because, okay, I know. And so I don't know if she passed away someplace and then something took her off or what. But anyway, she we can't find her. So game birds are hard to keep in the yard. They tend to venture out, and these two in particular were really bad about going out into the field and stuff. And so it's a likely possibility that because we have a deer carcass out there that's got buzzards around it, so she may have gotten snatched by something. Bruce has been working on my screened-in porch. Our screened-in porch, but it's for me. I've been wanting it for years, but he didn't want to do it. But then he realized that it would be something good for me. So he has been working on screening that in, and so he's got it just about done. He's got to figure out how to put like a dog door in and finish painting, and then a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I mean, he's like almost finished with it. And it's really nice. He's got it blocked off. We're having to put a big piece of lattice that's framed out with feet to keep the dogs from the other section. So they have the section by the kitchen door, and then we have the rest of it because otherwise I can't put anything out there because Gracie eats everything. And so so now I have plants out there. I took my green onions that you can take green onions from the grocery store and you can eat them, but leave like an inch or so and put them in water and they'll just continue to regrow for you. And then finally they'll get to the point where they get kind of skinny and then you have to plant them in dirt. And then they'll grow huge. And so I harvested the rest of all the greens and I planted them in dirt and put the greens in water in the refrigerator. And you're so funny. And they've already grown in the dirt. They've already grown 1/4 of an inch. They grow like it's so crazy. It's so much fun. And so I have some other plants that I put out there. It's so nice. And I still have my Christmas tree up. I don't know if I'll take that down or not this year. It's been up for a year and a few months. But today will be a work day for me in the house and trying to get some things organized and straightened up. Bruce did get himself some more quail because he didn't want to cull. He didn't want to cull the roosters, the extra roosters that he had. So he bought his roosters some more quail hens so that he could, didn't have to cull so many. So like he has now he only has to cull like 3, or now he only has to sell like 3 or 4 or something like that. And the rest of them are all, what are you doing? Stop licking me. Anyway, so we've got quail eggs coming all over the place and coming out all over the place, and they're really neat. They're really beautiful little eggs, and they taste really good. And they taste like chicken eggs, but they have the good fat instead of the they have the good fat like the duck's eggs have. So they're good. They have the good omega-3 or the other fat. I don't know. You can look up quail eggs and you can get all the information about it. And not only that, but the yolk inside is bigger than if you cracked a chicken egg and you cracked a quail egg, the yolk is bigger in comparison to the egg than a chicken egg has. The averages, the percentage of yolk to white ratio or whatever is different or something like that. There's more yolk in a quail egg. And so I kind of want to take some of those and boil them and make little bitty little boiled eggs. So here on my desk I have all of these little weird things, little cats that can sit on things, sit on little shelves. This one here is kind of just weird stuff that makes me smile. And a lot of them are in the drawer. They're all little squishy chickens and stuff like that. But I'm trying really hard to kind of not tchotchke up so much stuff. I mean, there's just, I love things. I love looking at things. But I don't like a lot of stuff. I like to have something and then swap it out with something else, or redo a room or something like that. This is how he's bundled. You can see he's all in his little zone here. He's such a funny boy. But yeah, you can see this is my rolling desk for the main computer, which is right here. My noisy little, I need to fix the fan or something on that computer. Anyway, let's see. So we've been doing that. And Bruce had a guest in the studio this morning. He has another guest in the studio tomorrow. The guest in the studio today, I was watching part of the video, and she had really long, cool hair. I loved it. It was really neat. She looked really cool. But they seem like really neat people. So Bruce had that this morning, and then he has something tomorrow morning. And then he has another thing on Thursday, meeting in the morning on Thursday with a group thing. And then we have our Friday show. So he's got a busy week. So I handed him a calendar and I said, I want you to fill this up with everything that you do every day. I want to see what you do, because we're trying to figure out a way to help him learn how to manage his time. And because he doesn't realize how much time he spends on his phone, looking at Facebook and, stuff like that throughout the day. And so, but also he doesn't realize how much time he spends doing things that aren't real productive. And so, we're doing that. You've got owies on your head. That's why you want me to scratch the owies on your head. Is that what it is? Little poop. So that's pretty much it for now. I mean, I'm trying really hard to just keep a really, really positive attitude. My goal is to get up in the morning and have the house in shape. My mom was super picky about her house, like ridiculously so, to the point. See, I'm scratching something that's making him lick the air. I'm scratching his head, and he's like, "Oh, that's good." Yeah. So she was really, really picky about her house, but you couldn't really live in it. She had it to where we weren't even allowed to sit on the couch or anything. So I don't want to be that picky. I like a really, really comfortable house you can live in. I like every room to serve a purpose. I don't want any untouchable rooms, or anything like that. Which, our family everybody always had the untouchable rooms, but I don't want any untouchable rooms. I want every room to be useful and whatever. But I would love to get my craft room organized and stuff, because I have so many things I want to do. I've got a doll that I need to make my cousin. I've been putting it off forever because I don't have my workspace, and I have to make those dolls. I've got to set them out, sit them there and look at them. You get all their basic parts put together and everything, and put the pants and the jacket on, and then I've got to sit and look at them and decide how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do that and what I'm going to do, with this and that, and that's what makes it fun, and that makes them unique. And they take a long time to do because I like to do it that way, So I can't wait to get that done for her and send that to her, and hopefully this year I'll get to it. Poor Mary. But anyway, other than that, I think, golly, I listened to all the news and everything. I've been listening to all the Trump stuff and all the different things that are going on. There's helicopter crashes and all of these things. And, we wouldn't know about half of these things if we didn't have the technology that we have now. Back in the old days, you only learned what happened, you know, in your local town, and then maybe you had a newspaper that would bring something from wherever that you would learn some things, several weeks down the line or whatever. But we get all of our information instantly, and we get instant information all the time, and I think we need to shut that down. Give that only a specific time of our day. Decide what is reasonable, and then look at our life and see, what can we do? What can we do for someone else? Is there's somebody else that's living in our house? What's a good thing we can do for them today? Can we go and clean up their closet for them? Can we, go wash their laundry and fold it for them? Can we, go straighten up this or that, or go clean out their car, or take their car through the wash, or, bless somebody in your house that's just in your house, your kids or whatever. Do something neat for them so that they can, I think it makes you feel good too. I remember my mom used to have tea parties with my kids, and they still remember the tea parties, my oldest mostly, because the oldest was really the one that she was the most attached to. The twins were a bit overwhelming, but she would have tea parties with him, and he still remembers the tea parties. And little simple things, I think, make a big deal, make a difference in your life and the life of the person that you're with. Greta, just sitting here with Greta and giving him some time is blessing him. He's getting close to the end of his life, and so I'm blessing him by by scratching his itches that he can't scratch while he licks the air. But I'm blessing him, and he's blessing me in the same way, because I'm getting to do something good for him. And so yeah, it can be as simple as doing something really kind, generous for your animals, your friend, your whatever, sending an email, sending a card. Mary's always so sweet about, she sends these cards. She just picks up cards and she sends cards every once in a while to just say something and then say, I love you. And then, and it's like, that is so sweet. And she's always sending stuff like that, just kind things. And she does it because, for one, she wants to tell the person that she loves them and cares about them, but then she also does it because it makes her feel good to do it. And so I try to always make sure that I tell her thank you for it, because I want to explain to her how much I appreciate that. And so always say thank you. Always acknowledge the fact when somebody does something kind for you. Always remember to say thank you, and how much that means to you that they did that thing for you. I remember as a child, I was a very talkative child, and I know I was very annoying as a little girl, because I talked a lot. Because I was really, really shy in school. And so when I would get home, if anybody would give me any attention whatsoever, I would just talk their ear off, And my mom would be on the phone with my Aunt Cindy, and I would be listening and trying to talk, trying to narrate, and say, no, it didn't happen like that. It happened like this. And I got in trouble for it all the time. But, and then if my brother Scott was, he was not necessarily the type of person that really wanted to put up with me. But there were times when he gave me his attention. There were times when he did, like we did Christmas carols and he taped it, or there were times when we would be making Mom's bed and we would do the parachute thing where you fluff it up, and we got in trouble for those, for the jumping on the bed and, doing that kind of stuff. We got in trouble for that, which we shouldn't have. That was not good. But those different things, those times when he took a few minutes for me, are the things that I really, really remember in my life. That it was just this little bit of kindness that he showed me, because I was an annoying little girl, because I didn't really, for a good portion of my life, until I was probably about 7 years old, I didn't, I had I had my cousin Stacy, but then she passed away when she was 4. And she and I mean, she'd let me talk her ear off, but we were little. I mean, I was like 5 and she was 4 when she passed away, and she had a heart condition. But we would sit on the phone and talk, and then my Aunt Cindy, she'd say, "Hang on," and set the phone down and go take a bath. And my Aunt Cindy, and then go to bed. And then my Aunt Cindy would see the phone was off the hook and go, "Hello?" And I'd be, "Hi." This little 4-year-old child, 4 or 5-year-old child saying hi, and she'd go, "Shannon, Stacy's in bed, honey. Hang up the phone, okay?" But she was my best friend. And but then she passed away, and then I didn't meet my best friend Gina until I was 7. And so I didn't really have a best friend from 5 to 7 years old. And so I was probably a real pain in the butt when it came to my brother and Summers, because I didn't have anybody, And so then I met Gina, and Gina was my best friend for, until we were until I went to high school and was dating my husband. But we were friends until then. I mean, we were still friends, but we didn't hang out. Once I went to high school and she was in middle school, we kind of, we were both older, and so we didn't hang out as much because there was this 2-year gap between the two of us. But she was in my wedding, and there's a video with us, and we slept. We're sleeping on this couch, 3 of us. Kim is behind me. I'm in front of Kim, and Gina's on the other side with her feet over at my and it was like time had never, there had never been any time where we didn't hang out. It was just my heart right there, and so she was precious to me for years. We went to Duran Duran concert when I was 14, and she was, I guess, 12 or something. And so we were really, really close for a lot of years, and she was everything to me. And then after that, I had my cousin Kim, and I had my cousin Candy, and so it's nice. There were, there's always been somebody. There was that gap, but I love the kind things. I think of the kind times. I think of the times that were fun. And I do think my mom was very OCD, and so she didn't really spend a lot of time with me. So I would sneak through the bushes and go across the street to Betty's house, and I bugged Betty. She probably was in that gap, that 5-year-old gap, because I was 5 years old when I was crawling through that fence, through that bush. The 5 to 7 years old or whatever, I would go over to Betty's house. She would be watching her soap operas. She taught me to crochet. She taught me to sew. She taught me Bible stuff. She taught me how to have tea. And I talked her ear off. Oh my God, that poor lady. I talked her ear off, and she put up with me. And what a blessing that was. What a blessing she was to my life. I mean, and she was probably the first person who really got me to start thinking of God. She explained things to me. And so she was my first stepping stone. And I just love that lady. I will always love that lady. She was my mother. She took the place of my mother when my mother was very OCD, very stressed, going through a lot of stuff, and I needed someone. And so I would crawl through the fence and run over to Betty's house. And then they became best friends because I was always there. And so I kind of gave her no choice but to become best friends with Betty. So, it's neat to go back and look at the times in your life where there was someone there to bless you. God put someone there to bless you. There was always someone there blessing you. And so be the blessing, be that blessing. Take some time, when you have kids, you feel like you're busy, 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 and you're always trying to keep the house clean and everything. And my big thing with my boys was to put on Star Wars or Apollo 13 and bring out the Lego container, and then they would make like a sheet tent or whatever. And we would have days of Play-Doh and whatever, where the house just went to crap. And rain days were fun, and because we Legoed them, we played with Legos. They'd always fight over the wheels because there was only like 3 sets of wheels, so you could only make like 1.5 cars. But there's think of those things, think of those good memories, and make some of those, because those are the ones that later on your kids are going to remember, your grandkids are going to remember. Have tea with grandkids. Make tea, little tea time, buy a little set or whatever, and do something silly and fun, and or do, like, I know I have a friend named Tam who does who used to, she probably still does it, but they would like do a different type of cuisine, Asian cuisine or something like that, and learn a lot about it, and then do that and eat that way, and teach the kids. And I always thought that was so cool that she would do that, because it was giving them knowledge about the culture and then eating the food, and they would eat them in the bowls the right way and all the different things. So it's just neat to do some of those things. Life is just, everything's so negative coming at us, and it's so material. And the things that really matter, I remember my son used to get so aggravated because when my husband's aunt passed away, we had to do her estate, and she had kept every single check she had ever written in her entire life, and that was back when they would send the checks back to you. And so we had these boxes upon boxes upon boxes of these canceled checks, and so we would come out here, and we were clearing the property, kind of, sort of, at the time, and we were throwing the checks on the pile, and then you would burn the checks. But then every once in a while I would take a stick and I would roll the little blob of stuff, and there were some that weren't burned, and I'd go, oh, look, there's more. And my oldest son was like, can we go home now? And then I'd be like, no, this is fun. And he'd be like, no, it's not. I want to go home. I want to call my girlfriend. And then I would be like, we'd just be about ready to go. And I'd roll that, stick over and go, oh, look, there's some more. And everybody'd sit back down, and we'd laugh, and he would groan. But now he looks at it and he goes, that was actually good. Those are good memories, and it's so funny because they get so annoyed, they're teenagers, and what are we doing out here? I want to go home. But then later on, when they're older, those are the memories they remember, not sitting in front of the computer or sitting in front of the TV for hours upon hours. They remember the stupid checks that didn't catch fire, and they would find another whole blob, and everybody would groan. And then, then I would go to the car, and all the guys would circle around the fire pit and put the fire out. And I would go, I'm going to go to the car. And they remember those things. Those are those good memories for them. So anyway, so that's all I have to say today. I just thought it would be kind of fun to bring up some like old fun stuff. We need some more light in this world, and so I hope you find your light today, and maybe you can do something nice for somebody, even if it's to bring them a cup of coffee or to make their bed for them or something silly, something simple or whatever. Sometimes just a little bit of something, sending a text saying, just want to let you know I love you, or have a great day, or whatever. I'm fortunate I get those a lot. So you guys have a great day. make some memories and and snuggle your pets and scratch their scratches, their itches that they can't scratch. Not all of them though. So anyway, you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to talk to you soon. I haven't had necessarily a ton of energy, but hopefully I'll have some more this week, so I get to talk to you again. So y'all have an awesome day, and we will talk to you later. Bye.